everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of NAMP. Uh, welcome. This episode, we're gonna talk about some big changes that are happening in the IATF, and maybe even some changes that are happening in WATL. Gasp! Shock! Whoa! Wonder! Anyway, I'm one of your co-hosts, Flare Gun, and yeah, the other co-host is
There's another co-host?
yeah.
And I'm your other,
What do
other
you mean?
co-host.
There's
I'm just
another co-host, my asshole, bro. That's crazy.
I
Um,
am the other co-host, Water Boy.
yeah, yeah, and I don't know if we're together. It's the water gun. I hate that. We're not gonna do that again. I thought it would be cool because we did it last
You tried.
episode, and then I said it again, and I was like, I hate that.
You
Okay.
tried.
Yeah. So sorry. We were really distracted before we started this episode because we were talking about Pokémon. Um
Yes.
so how much do you actually know about Pokémon?
Yes, that is probably the best place to start because I feel like you know a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
like really into Pokemon.
yeah, yeah. My Pokemon preferences only mainly from playing a little bit of the game. See, people are going to judge me and ask so much freaking weird questions after this. Be hilarious. So I played the app on my phone
the
and
the
hunted.
app? Do you mean Pokemon Go?
See, that's what I meant. Yes, Pokemon Go, and and yes, I played Pokemon Go. I got frustrated with that because it would drain my battery like crazy, and I know that's why most of you carry around. I'm sorry, power banks, so then you could go forever. So anyway, that just got me frustrated, so I stopped doing it because of that reason.
Okay.
Um, I've seen the Pokemon movie, the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Okay.
Um, well, the one that where he voices Pikachu.
Yeah.
I believe is one
Detective
of the.
Pikachu.
Yes, Detective Pikachu. Thank you. I was trying to remember what it's called, but that's what it's called. Um, and then the only other stuff I know just from I collected cards for a little while during the pandemic just because it gave me something to do. Um, I honestly only though collected them just for the art, like
Mm.
you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, in baseball terms, like refractors and shiny cards, etc.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm just collecting for that, and because the artwork is actually really kind of cool and very nice, so I would collect it for that reason. I wouldn't play the game. I knew of the game, but I never played the game. I know that world though is incredibly and immensely huge, um, with the conventions and all that shit. So that's
Yeah.
probably the extent. That's the extent of my Pokemon knowledge.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I am very into Pokemon. However, I am actually not into the card game that much. I would like to learn how to play. I don't really play the card game, but I play the video game and I love playing like ranked. So, I play this specifically the world champion format, so the video game championships for Pokemon. And not Pokemon Go. There is a Pokemon Go champion like format, but I don't do that. I do like the main series games. So like Scarlet and Violet. Like I play competitive Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. That kind of stuff. Um yeah, I've been really into Pokemon most of my life, but I wasn't allowed to play the games for like a long time. So I only started really playing the games in like Gen 5, and I think I've played almost every one except for Ultra, Sun, and Moon. I think that was the only mainline game I've missed since Gen 5. But it's pretty cool. I love Pokemon. Pokemon is awesome. It is super versatile. There's so much you can do with it. There's so many formats. And yeah. Wait, why are we talking about this? We were trying to find you a favorite Pokemon, right?
We were, yeah. Wait, so for everyone listening and watching,
Yeah.
before we started recording, oh, Sam had showed me a picture of her audio and video setup
Yeah.
for how we record here on Discord. And in the background, of course, nothing's blurred, so I can see whatever I want to do. Haha, that sounds bad.
There's
So I
nothing
saw a
bad
bunch
in
of
there. I'm not like, oh yeah, here's some like, I don't know, crazy pictures or whatever that would like, I don't know.
I just want to see your reaction. um, no, so there were some figurines, I guess you'll call them, in the background.
Yeah.
So I was just poking at what they were. And so obviously I learned one is, oh shit, I'm going to botch that name. You know what? I'm not going to say it. You're Kuromi.
Oh, Kuromi. Yeah, Kuromi, which
I
is...
got it right.
Yeah, you
I got it
did.
right.
Yay, which is not a Pokemon.
Well, I know it's not a Pokemon.
Oh, I know. Some people might not know that, though.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, I saw that. That then led into other actual Pokemon figurines.
Yeah.
And then questioning Sam's favorite ones. And then that led down the rabbit hole of how much my knowledge is and what my favorite is. But then again, I don't really have one. We were trying to figure out one. So currently, I don't know if she's looking at it, but I'm looking at a list online of Pokemon species / cuteness. And I don't know why some of these are on here. I don't think they're cute at all. They're more of just a species. Because you're gonna laugh, and anyone who probably loves this is gonna laugh because of how badly I'm probably gonna botch some of these names. Like this one looks like freaking nasty. Joltik.
Oh, Joltik? Yeah, Joltik is so cute. He's just a little cute spider guy. He's so fuzzy.
He's a spider?
Yeah.
He's a spider?
Yeah.
He's gonna get squished. I'm gonna step on him.
Well, he'll shock you because he's an electric type, and then he'll go, and it'll hurt real bad.
Okay, so I will tell you, from what I've seen on what I'm looking at right now,
Yeah.
if I had to pick ones in no particular order that I think are cute that I would have as like a little figurine or something.
Okay.
We have, and again, I'm gonna botch some of these names. Oh my gosh. Let's start with an easy one I found that has an easy name I can pronounce. Where'd he go? Danini. He looks like a little mouse.
Oh, Dedenne?
Dedenne. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I bossed it. Dedenne. Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, Dedenne is super cute.
Oh, there he is. Lillipup.
Oh, Lillipup's cute.
That's a cute one.
Do you like Eevee?
I do like Eevee. I feel like Eevee, though, that was the first one I was going to tell you about. But I feel like when it comes to like, oh, when someone says, oh, what's your favorite? Like someone says Pikachu, Eevee, Bulbasaur, Bulbasaur. Any of those generic ones that are like common, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I feel like Eevee is cute. Yes, I love Eevee. Me too. They all fall into the category of like well-known characters.
What about
no.
What about Vaporeon? If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't want to find out. Anyway, but Vaporeon's great. I do unironically like Vaporeon. But the internet ruined Vaporeon for me forever, so. Because Vaporeon is a EV evolution. It's an evolution.
Ew!
What?
It's like a mermaid Eevee.
Yeah, it's so cute. Oh, okay.
It looks like it's a mix of like a dinosaur that wants, to open its little side wings and spit goopy goop all over me and swim away.
No,
oh my god, that's nasty.
My personal favorite evolution, it's Espeon though. Espeon out of the evolutions is my favorite. Espeon's cute.
I will say that is cool. The different evolutions or evolutions of all the different characters.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I feel like I don't know.
Minccino.
Oh, Minccino.
The little mouse.
Yeah. Minccino's cute.
Normal type.
I don't know if you like this one. This is Blossom. Blossom's cute, I think. But I feel like all the ones I'm like, oh, so cute. You're like, ew.
Yeah, ew. That's the Hawaiian version. A little hula dance. Get flowers for heads. But anyway,
Oh,
that's my take.
yeah.
Probably
Uh,
more here I could pick out. Stuffle. Stuffle's cute.
okay. Okay.
It's
All
like a
right.
red panda, but a pink panda.
Yeah. You guys should comment. You guys should comment below what you think Graham's favorite Pokemon should be. Comment your suggestions. And
Yes.
yeah, and if you guys want us to talk about Pokemon more, please let us know, because then we'll do an episode where we rank
Let's do
all
a
the
whole episode.
Pokemon. Yeah, we'll rank them all
Yes.
by cuteness, and I'll try not to rank them in a competitive way, which will be super hard for me. So we'll do our best to do that.
She'll try to be as impartial as she can.
Yeah, but then it'll be like a big nasty gross one, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, it's so cute." So,
Oh my, Sobble or Sobble?
oh yeah,
He's so
Sobel's cute.
He's like a little like, oh my god. Um,
Uh,
yes, jump on our Instagram if you want to and share a picture and a comment of either your favorite, whether or not you want us to do an episode on Pokemon. Um, yeah,
yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, please. The more
Yeah,
you
there's so
guys
many.
tell us that you want it, the more likely we are to do it. All right? Great googly mooglies. What should
What
we?
is a Papalino?
Oh, a what?
Papilio. Papilio?
Oh, Poplio?
Yeah.
I love Poplio. Primarina is one of my favorite starters, and that's like the final evolution of Poplio. Fucking love Poplio.
What is it?
It's
A
a it's a
dolphin?
it's a
It's like a dolphin
seal.
or seal.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
little.
it's a
He's a
seal.
little seal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he just have breakfast or something? He sells his like bib on? I don't know.
No, he got little frills. You know, like a little circus seal. Ooh, circus seal.
Oh my gosh. Rockruff?
Rockruff
Rockruff?
is cute. Yeah, Rockruff is cute. That's a good one. Um,
Parashio?
what?
Hold on. Oh, shut up. Pocker issue. Pocker issue. Looks like a
Pachirisu?
squirrel. Yeah, it looks like a squirrel.
Yeah, Pachirisu. Pachirisu is actually so cute. I love yeah, it's really cute. And also, Pachirisu actually won the world championships in 2014 in VGC. Fun fact. It was on the world winning team, Station Park. Most popular.
That's great.
Yeah, win probably of all time. Other than maybe.
It's great.
Yeah.
I keep saying that because it's I'm saying it sarcastically because it means nothing to me.
Oh, that's I figured.
You're speaking a different. You're speaking a different language to me right
Sorry,
now.
I'm sorry. Oh, do you want to see? So this is my other favorite Pokemon, and this is very cute. This is, other than the two I sent you, this one is my favorite just because of cuteness, but
Yes.
it's Pumpkaboo. But hold on, let me send you the shiny form, because the shiny one is purple, so that's probably my all-time, like, I love shiny Pumpkaboo. Hold on, we need a good picture here. There we go. Okay, so the orange one is the normal, and then the purple one is the shiny one.
So it's a cat pumpkin.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting.
It's so cute. And he's got little lights, and he's so, I don't know, I love creepy cute things. If it looks like it'll like secretly kill you, and it's also really terrifying but also low-key cute, that's where it's at.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I love the ghost type. Anyway, we should talk about axes.
That was a very nice tangent. Thank you. I appreciated it.
No worries. But we're gonna go on a journey to find the water boy's favorite Pokemon.
Yes.
Another
goal for 2025.
Yeah, there we go. It's a great goal.
Totally axe related.
Yes, 100%. Okay.
Totally.
So rules. Big
Yes.
changes this year. Big changes. Um, so IATC, all right. You know it, you love it, you hate it, you fuck it. So, I don't know. I was just trying to come up with a rhyme.
I don't think that rhymed either.
But the words sound nice together, so it's close enough to a rhyme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how that works.
You should stop now while you're not getting ahead.
Oh, it's okay. If I dig deep enough, I'll just get to the other side eventually.
That's what she said. Oh my god.
So before ITC, I believe it was 4 days. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying that? I think it was 4 days. It was Thursday
I
through
believe it was when
Sunday.
I went, yeah.
Yeah. And most events were double elimination. The venues have not changed. It's at the same 4 venues, except for the like 1 year that they did it at the one venue, and everyone was like, "Wow, this was so much fucking better." Um, but obviously, I haven't been to ITC. I've never been to ITC. I don't really have the grounds to say a lot of the shit that I might say here, so please take everything I fucking say with a grain of salt. Um, these are definitely my opinions. I don't know. I might say some off the wall shit, so I just want to preface with that. But this year, it looks like IATC, they added another day. There's a whole nother day in there. This bitch is now 5 days fucking long. 5 days. What do we think about it being 5 days long?
It's a lot. So I think there's definitely pros and cons for each. I think we've both seen comments from online about this topic that just been risen to all of us in the community. I think one of the bigger comment and feedback I've seen is when people saying, "Oh, it's too long. Put it back together. Put it closer together."
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you hear from and then they're like, "Oh, I gotta travel, the money," and then obviously I get that the money. And like you said, Sam, I've only been 1 year, so
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of other throwers who've been to IATC, whether just to go to spectate or to actually compete as well, a lot more times than I have, and for a lot more days. Last year, I missed one of the days. I was only there for 3 of them, so I wasn't there for the full time either. But there is obviously that big factor of money, just like any of our tournaments we do and host, when we visit and go to and compete in. The money, the travel, all of that. And I know everyone has their own thoughts on that, being that we have wonderful people in our community from all over the freaking world. And I was happy to meet some of those people from Australia last year. So when you think about the amount of time, it's hard to, I guess, argue against how long it is and get all like, I guess, boo hurt when you live stateside for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you think about our friends here in the UK or in Australia who are traveling so much farther and spending so much more to come spend time with us and throw with us in this side of the world. I don't know where I was going with that. But I don't think there's much argument to say it's worse either way. Because there's definitely people, throwers out there who have to put a lot more of their lives on hold to come and enjoy that event. I think I tangented it myself and just spun back around, but but yeah. I mean, so in the one thing I did think about that I felt like this is kind of feel like I'm reflecting on is if anyone knows, and I doubt you do, which is fine, you know your Pokemon, and I know this, a win-win. anyone who knows anything about the Professional Golf Association, the PGA, and the tour, if people call it that, for golf tournaments, they're typically 5 days. So Wednesday and Thursday are practice rounds, and they do fun things like skills, and public can be a little rowdy, and you get to actually talk to the competitors. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the main event. So I don't know. I kind of see our little lineup of a Wednesday through Sunday kind of thing for IATC as kind of like a golf tournament. And the way it's like kind of laid out is that you have these other things happening, everything's spread out, which is nice. I'd have to say I'm probably impartial to it being 5 days. Yes, it's more time. Yes, it's money for places, but I feel like we all make it work.
Yeah.
Like finding a bunch of people to just get an Airbnb with and just hang out with. Yeah, we just make it work.
Okay.
The schedule will be what it is. We'll get through it this year. They might have to revise, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fine. There's actually a lot of like really large, because you know your golf, and then I know the nerd stuff. A lot of really large like nerd conventions. Whether it's anime, comics, TTRPGs, they can honestly also be up to 5 days as well. So I actually don't think 5 days is a bad thing. I would almost see it as a good thing. Do I think it should be more than 5 days? No, I don't think. I think 5 days is a great cutoff. You hardly ever see events that are longer than 5 days. If they came out this year and they were like, IATC is a full week long, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Leave right now. That's ridiculous. But I think 5 days it's long, but I feel like it helps people be able to do more stuff, and also not feel as like compressed. So I'm actually okay with the 5 days, surprisingly. I know it's definitely going to be more expensive for people to travel, but you know, it's IATC is going to be for most people a lot of money already anyway. So
agreed. And you're right, it spreads apart. I think there was, again, you can fact check me. Other people, you could comment for us on our Instagram page. But I believe last year there were 1 or 2 events that you couldn't do maybe because they overlapped with another one. So you kind of had to choose. But again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like by the schedule for this year, for 2025 lineup, for what if someone qualifies for everything or whatever they want, multiples, they are able to do it. It looks like there's not much overlap, or any for that matter. So it works in their favor.
Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, I think it's.
So what do we think? Reasons for moving different events around that could affect other events? Wait, did I read that right?
What are you looking at?
The third question.
That's the second question. Oh no, that's the third question.
Yeah. I guess. Oh, I skipped the first question. My bad. I totally skipped that.
Oh, you're fine.
We'll just go back to it.
Yeah, the third I think just has to do with the fact that all those events are spread apart. Those 4 battle venues, so Stockyards, Pickering, Portland's, and Vaughan. And as it is kind of a hike, commute between all of them, it's really not that bad. Because I feel like you have to, at least me last year dealing with it was traffic. For me, traveling during certain parts of the day in Toronto, oh my God, it was awful. You did have to plan that. So it would be whether or not, let's move all of, say, which looks like they did. Okay, they kind of did that. All of Wednesday is at 2 different venues, so no matter what you're doing, is you're at those venues. Nothing else is at the other 2. Oh, hold on. All right, well, yeah. Fact check me again if you'd like, but it looks like everything Wednesday through Friday morning is only at Stockyard in Portland's. It looks like Vaughn and Pickering don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
Interesting, which narrows down the amount of venues, which is nice.
That is nice.
So again, we can fact check that, but that's the way it looks. And then obviously the main event is obviously always going to be at all 4, just for logistical reasons.
Yeah.
But then that bounces into another question of, I think I put on there is, no, actually I didn't put that question on there, but it's a question that I know it's been brought up in chats when this was announced, is that should the final for the round 2 for the Wilson Cup be all hosted at one venue? And is that a feasible thing? It's 256 people, all throwing to narrow down to the final 32 for the finals on Sunday. So, yeah, that would be my question. I would bode to you.
I mean, they did it before. Look, I know that obviously, the IATF people have talked about some of the like financial struggles they've had, but they've done it before, and I think that.
Where'd you see that? I'm just curious. I didn't think they did. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong.
It was on the Alato episode, when they had.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. Continue.
And they only, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was only for 1 year that they were able to have it at a bigger venue where it was like they could do the whole thing in one venue. Correct me if I'm wrong again, but I believe it was pre-COVID. Guys, this episode might need a lot of fact checking. My bad. But I feel pretty confident about that.
I like your confidence.
Yeah, thank you. And I think it is feasible. And obviously IATC is it's an incredibly expensive event to run and do. And the year that they did do it, I know that it was the profit margin, I believe it was not great. Like it was not good. But I almost feel like if people are like, hey, throwing at 4 venues is really awful, like they could probably fucking crowdfund it. People, like, I'm sorry, but IATC is literally the creme de la, how do you say it? Creme de la creme?
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. It's the tippy top, okay? It's the numero uno. It's the big guns. If they were like, hey guys, we really fucking want to have this at one big venue, but we just can't afford it, and here's why, so we're gonna crowdfund it. And if they were like super transparent about it, I bet you there's a chance that honestly they might get the like help they need with that, because I think that people really, from what I have read, from what I've read, people really don't enjoy the 4 venues. Like, it's a lot. The traffic is a lot. Even though it is more spread out this year, which I think hopefully will help. I am interested to see how that plays out, because I think it will help. I don't know that it'll be perfect, but but with the main event, like if it's all at one, like you can't, if you have your friend throwing over here and your other friend throwing fucking across the city, like you can't watch them both, and that sucks. And I think also if it's at one venue, not only does that help with just being able to watch people and not having to worry about travel or stressing, especially when you're throwing, It also helps with streaming because I think being able to stream this event in a like really entertaining and impactful way is imperative because it really helps get people in, and we're literally recording the best of the best. Like, I think that is really important. It's really important to help grow the community, help grow the IATF, as well as potentially, get like on other places that will continue to help grow the IATF, like sports networks, even if it is on at fucking 1 a.m. Like, who cares? It's there, and it's like a step forward. So that's my thoughts. What do you think?
I do it all the time.
Siri, shut up. I don't even have Siri. Was that me or was that you? I don't. What the fuck was that? I don't have Siri on my phone. Anyway, that was crazy.
No, absolutely. One venue would be killer if in the be all perfect world. I mean, per example, I believe there were 12 of us. We had 12 bids out of Urban Baltimore last year. Um, so we all obviously communicated and tried to figure out which one of us was throwing at which venue for the round two. And I believe I think I only had one person out of Urban throwing with me. It was Alan. Spicy Ride was throwing out of my venue. I also had other friends from other venues throwing. So Big Time out of Pittsburgh, Steel City was also throwing in my at Pickering with me. And that was great because you got that support. And you're right, half of it is being able to just throw your game as well as support your friends and your other throwers out of your own home venue, or if it's a friend from a different venue. So yeah, you kind of lose that when you're all spread apart. But I get that. It's 256 throwers. In a perfect world, an ideal one place for everyone to be amazing. But logistically, they feel this 4 venue format is where it's at. So yeah, I mean, I feel like my question for you would be, as well as anyone listening for comment. So I feel like this episode is going to be a lot of fact checking, a lot of checking. But off the top of my head, I can think of, yeah. So here, play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
I'm going to go to a limb here. As far as I know, there are only two in North America at least, sanctioned IATF venues that have outside targets. Don't worry, I'm getting somewhere with this. One is the Range, up in Alberta, Canada. I believe it's Alberta. I know it's in Canada. And the other one is Battle Axe, which just opened up in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. And
wait, that can't. Look, I don't know if this counts, but like, we do be having those two shitty outside targets at Urban, so technically,
we do, but technically we don't use those for any sort of tournament and or league play.
I know. I'm just being a pedantic asshole. You're fine.
That was fine. So, with that being said, venues obviously have been allowed to be sanctioned with an outdoor target with league play. Why can't? So, if for those who have been to Pickering, the last venue for the final Wilson Cup, for the final championship, they have plenty of space outside. It's a giant commercial lot. They could, even the parking lot out front too. I guess how logistically would it work if, for the sheer idea, you add more arenas, but you add them outside? The time of the year is fine because it's hot. So I mean that would suck because you're outside throwing, but it's not like there's other places that have done this. We have leagues outside, so that's nothing new. I think it would come down to whether or not people would think that would be a fair trade if, say, part of you is you have to throw inside, and then your next match is moved to the arena that is set up outside. Do you feel like that's fair? Do you think that's a compromise to be able to have everyone throw at the same venue?
Honest?
Or do you try to move? I mean, because it gets everyone together.
Yeah.
You all throw together. You're all there. It is the OG, one of the OG venues, and yeah.
Like,
So that would be my question of devil advocate of argument of what if that's my Marvel what if moment.
honestly, I think that's a great compromise. Like, obviously it's hot, but there's also things you can do to fight that, because if it's outside, you can do things like, set up tents over the targets, as long as they're high enough. That might be a little harder with big axe, but get creative. I would take that compromise, because also, even if you're throwing like matches back to back to back to back, like at some point, if you're throwing that much, it's gonna get whittled down, and then you're gonna go back inside, or you're gonna get out and you can go back inside, or you're gonna have a break and you can go back inside. So like, I don't know. To me, I would take that. I think I would rather go outside and just have to deal with the heat versus having to travel across like the city and be stressed about it, or if something happens it's out of your control. What if there's traffic? What if you get into an accident? Like all of these things, versus like now you're here, you're at the place, you might have to go outside, but that's like the worst. That's like the worst is you go outside and you bring extra deodorant in case you get a little sweaty. Like
Very true. Very
yeah,
true.
I think that's a great idea.
So that's my argument to having everything at a singular venue. I think that'd be fun. I've never thrown outside. Shout out to the range, because at some point I would love to get up there and throw. I think that'd be fun. There's definitely going to be people who have an argument to maybe think it's not fair that I'm part of, say, well, okay, say I'm going with the idea that all 256 throwers are throwing in one venue on targets both outside and inside. I feel like, though, people might argue, well, a target outside is going to be it's going to adapt to different weather versus this target that's inside that's having AC blown on it. But I feel like that's just the caveat of how the game is played. You have to adapt to every situation.
Yeah.
And then whether or not that's, quote, I guess, fair to be able to throw on an outside target versus an inside target. So having been there, I know they can set up tents out there. They have done that they did that last year for all their vendor tents were set up outside in the back. So tenting is no issue. Obviously, renting tents, which is probably what they did. That's money. Obviously, I get that. But yeah, I mean, what if outside targets altogether, or as a partial addition, is a solution? So
Yeah.
that's just me spitballing here.
I think that's, even if it was limited to like, maybe it's not even all outside targets, but maybe you just add some, and then maybe you just do Pickering and then the closest venue to Pickering. So like that way it's 2 venues. That way, like, it's even more of a compromise. It's still more driving, but it's still a lot less and a lot less frustrating and worrying than having to go between 4 different venues that are all over the fucking place.
It's very true.
So
I mean, it also gives them the ability to, kind of like anyone who's been to urban Baltimore for the Urban Open. If they want, they could, again, it always comes down to money, but if money was no issue, they could set up grandstands just like Urban Baltimore does.
yeah.
You could have grandstands on some of the arenas outside, and everyone can watch. Not that watching inside isn't bad, but for those who have met me, I'm not the tallest in the flock. So, but short people in front always, yay. Um, but yeah, I think that would just be a really cool setup. If you set up some grandstands, it doesn't have to be on all the all the lanes, but some of them, and then obviously those are the final lanes you get to use. Say outside, people would be outside watching it. I think that'd be a pretty sweet little setup. So
I think that'd be great. Like, honestly, the fucking stands at Urban Baltimore blew me away. Like, I was like, wow. Like,
yeah,
this makes me feel like this is a sporting event. Like, I'm here for an event, you know? Like, obviously, it's cool. Like, we're all like bros hanging around, fucking off. But, like, it's like, it made it feel more special and like more official. I was like, cool, we're here, but we're here to play, you know? We're here to play the game.
absolutely.
Um,
So
yeah.
so I think so. With that being said, I feel like then that leads into when you discuss location, and then when you discuss now that it's 5 days, the other argument that now people have been discussing was some of the events now being single elimination versus going from double elimination to single elim. Um,
Ooh.
Being at 5 days, you feel like you would have enough time to be able to do a double elimination um, and still finish in the same time schedule.
That's true. They are. The difference though is that it's their pool play single elims. So it's pool play
Correct.
and then it's single elim versus just being a straight double elim.
Yes, that is
Um,
correct.
I don't know. I okay. Okay, all right. This is how I feel if I was going to Canada and I was not participating in the Wilson Cup, but I was participating in other events and say I'm still
Okay.
like a pretty novice thrower, right? Like I have spent all this money to come here and I throw in a tournament. All right, and it's double elim. Say we'll do the under 60. Um and I get out immediately. I throw my 2 matches and I go 0-2. However, with the pool play, uh now I get, I don't know, like between like 4 to 7 matches, whatever the actual pool number is that they're going with. I don't know that we have that yet. Um, and then if I get out of pool play, then I get even more matches, even if I'm single elimed. So I think I wish it was pool play into double elim, but I will be honest, I think that's extremely time consuming. And I think even with the 5 days, I don't think there's enough time for that. However, I do think that if I was going to IATC, I know I'm not the best thrower in the world, and I just want to go and I want to throw and have fun. I think I prefer the pool play because I'm guaranteed more matches. But if I was like, I'm here to do my shit and win my shit and be a bad bitch, then I think I would prefer definitely having the double elim, uh, because it gives you like that security. And I think I would prefer regular double elim over just pool play into double elim because yeah. But if I'm going to have fun and I want more bang for my buck, honestly, I think it's okay. What do you think?
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I enjoy the. I know, right?
Yeah, it was like so
I
anticlimactic.
and done. My answer. Sticking to it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
uh,
no. For it's. I think I can't speak for everyone, but for myself, I like bang for your buck. So the more throwing I can get, the better for my money. I would feel like my time being up there, especially on 5 days, it makes it more worth it. Obviously, you don't have to participate in everything. You don't have to be there for all 5 days. IATC is not twisting your arm to be like, oh, you have to go up for all 5 days and compete in everything if you want to do this. No, if you're just doing round two, you can just go up for the bare minimum. Um, so, but yeah, I feel like if I would rather get the bang for my buck, the most throws I can for my money. So
yeah.
I like I like to throw.
Hell yeah. All right. So, Uh, oh, we already talked about the venues. We already talked about that.
We did. We kind of. I know. I just looked at it
Yeah.
myself. I was
I
like,
was like, and I
we
was like,
kind
oh. Do we want to talk
so.
about? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you want that to just quickly just jump into my hot take?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. So I think this is a good argument for my hot. It's my hot take. Everyone knows this is episode 9. It's been 8 episodes. I haven't had many hot takes. I haven't had any hot takes. This is my first. Um, I think it's pretty big. I think it's pretty Gucci.
Okay, okay.
Um, so it's I guess 2-part question. Should IATC continue to be held? And this argument's been made before. Should it continue to be held in Toronto, or should it be moved to another city, or be rotated to a different venue every year? So, for example, should it be rotated, say, to somewhere in the U.S.? Should it be rotated? ITC be rotated to somewhere in the UK? Make us go there. So that's my hot take.
Wait, but that was a question, not a hot take.
Oh, I don't know.
What's your answer to the question?
Okay, my answer is I think yes. I think it'd be fun if it rotated.
Okay.
If it moves to a different venue, it moved to some place else that could host.
Okay.
Granted, I don't know all the logistics that goes into everything that it needs to take care of for all the events. Obviously, it's 5 days.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lanes if you combine all those venues together. I don't think there's one venue that's big enough that equals all of those combined or comes close. I don't, unfortunately, also think there's an area that I know of that has that many venues, if not 2 venues, that are within that close of proximity of each other to do something like that. Which would obviously mean one venue which has the ability to adapt. But if you take that out of the equation, I again wouldn't mind seeing it. I would like to see it possibly moved or somewhere else. I get that that's where the origin started. That's where you could say that's where we're from. But to see it move, I think it'd be fun. I think it would bring a little more joy to everyone else who has to travel to. Well, we know the most amount of population of the people who we love in this community who are throwers are in Canada and the US.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said before in other episodes, we have other Axe family all over the world. The 2 other, I think, major spots being Australia and the UK. But why not give either one of those other places a chance to host something like this? I mean, they're traveling so far, make us go to them now. So I think that'd be fun.
Okay. So, while I agree with you, and I think
that's
it
right.
would
That's
be...
it. Done.
No,
done.
no,
Done.
no. And I think it would be really...
Okay, I'm done.
And I think it would be really cool for IATC to move around the world. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're at a point where other places can handle IATC and the amount of people it brings from all over. But realistically, I don't think that IATC should have to be where it is. I get it. It's tradition. It's where it started. But then you know what you can do? You can have a cool founding tournament in Toronto that's not IATC. But I think I think IATC would be, it should be where it is the easiest, most accessible venue for the most amount of people to be there, and that's where it should be held. If that's Toronto, then fine, let it be Toronto. But like if there's a if there's a bigger, better venue that can
We give out a
handle
bit of it.
IATC, or if there's a space in general that can be rented out to hold IATC to make it better, more efficient, and people can have more fun and get more bang for their buck, then fuck it, move it. Why, like, I understand as tradition, but it shouldn't be tradition if it's ineffective. If there's a chance to make it better and improve on it, then fucking move it. You know? That's what I'm saying. I think eventually I would love when the IATF is big enough for it to travel around and do all these funky, fresh, cool things and go across the country,
Yep.
and be awesome. But right now, I don't think that's where we're at. I think right now we need to make IATC as effective and as accessible as possible. And I think, I don't know if it's that right now, but maybe it is. But I think if it can be better, and say if there's a better or bigger venue, not better quotes, I'm talking about better specifically for hosting this large amount of people.
Yeah.
In the US, then put it in the US. Like, it just should be as accessible as possible. If there's somewhere else in Canada that's better, then have it there. It doesn't have to be Toronto. It just has to be accessible. We want as many people there as possible. We want IATC to be as big as possible, because we all love the IATF. That's why we're here. We love throwing. We love the community, and we just want it to be the best we can possibly be. Like, there's so much work that does go into planning IATC, and I truly understand that, and it's a huge undertaking. But I think we really should at least consider, maybe they have already, and maybe they're like, Toronto's the fucking best we got. And if they are, hey, maybe I'm talking out of my fucking asshole. But if they haven't, I truly think that we should consider looking at other options, because tradition is cool and all, but also the IATF hasn't been around that long. So, like, it's cool to have these traditions, but also, fuck them, we're still new, and we should try different things. And if those other things don't work out, then, well, we can go back to the way it was. But we should try it, see if it works, because maybe it could be better. So, yeah.
True.
That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, you always have something to say. I know, I cracked you up. The other interesting fact, which, again, you could probably say we're not to this point yet, is when you compare the main event for WATL, their worlds that they host,
Yeah.
compared to IATC. WATL will...
Okay, wait, Graham.
What?
I'm so sorry. I will be...
Really sorry.
I know, but this time for real. Okay, I will be right back in like a minute and a half. I believe in you. Keep the podcast going. Entertain them. You got this. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, now that I'm left to my own accord, so as some of you know, WATL does and obviously I'll have to repeat some of this to Sam, but the idea that WATL has their Worlds event at convention centers. They have big open halls, and they bring in targets. I think they bring in seating. They have bleachers in some of the situations. Would it be out of the question for IATC or IATF to do something similar? So that would be I think the other side of things. Granted, you look at it, the money side. WATL, I believe, probably has some more funding, which gives them the ability to. That's right, you're back. That was weird. We're just like being there all by myself.
I'm sorry. I may or may not have drank too much coffee, so
you know what? I'm gonna keep my little thoughts to myself. As long as you wash your hands.
Bruh, of course. That's gross.
So what I was telling our listeners was, WATL will do their worlds at convention centers. So it's a giant open hall. You can fit a ton of targets.
Oh.
They basically build a venue inside of a convention hall. So it was like the thought of, well, why can't IATC do that? I think I answered my own question to a degree, and you did too, is IATF might not be that far along to do something that just yet. Also, I believe WATL has a lot more in the way of backing from sponsors,
Yes.
more than IATF has right now, which gives them probably a little edge to do something like that. But that, I feel like, could also be a solution to being able to host it somewhere else. If there is a giant hall or convention center such as that. WATL also has ESPN too. So IATF doesn't have that yet, or that kind of viewing, which obviously gives them an edge when it comes to being able to broadcast in a giant convention center. So that's my only other thought of the future possibly of IATF is you could move it to somewhere else, anywhere in the world that has a convention center big enough to put in X amount of targets, and then everyone's in the same place. Everything's together. Everything's a level playing field to a degree.
Okay. Basically, I think we've actually talked about this before. Is that is that the IATF needs more sponsors. Okay, we need to get the IATF to work with other people to make money. We need to advertise better. The marketing has to be better. And I think, it's okay. All right, so there's the issues, right? Because obviously we have the money issue and we can't hire more people to do the things we need to grow the sport if we don't have enough money. So we have to figure out how to get the IATF enough money. Obviously, I don't work there. I don't know really what the fuck is going on the inside. But honestly, I think we need to start by getting the IATF more actual sponsors. Sorry.
On the inside.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, audio listeners. Anyway, that was just a very inappropriate gesture made.
On the inside, togetherness, synergy. Go ahead, sorry.
You're fine. But yeah, so basically we need more sponsors, and I think you can do a lot of, bro, the IATF we have to get the fuck off Facebook. There's other social media sites we can use. Is there even an IATF Instagram page? Do they even have an Instagram page? Because if they do, I ain't never heard of it, because please, oh my gosh, please, we need better marketing. We need to get out there. We need to, you know what? Do what you gotta do. If we gotta do, you know what? We're doing like someone's doing it. I don't remember who's doing it, but someone's making like a Pets of Axling calendar. What if we do like oh gosh, this is gonna sound really bad. It's too late. We're going down the rabbit hole.
Too late. Go.
You know what? Let's do like let's do like, like a fireman calendar, but let's do it for like axe throwing. Like let's get ourselves out there. All right, let's do it. We need the we need more social media, and we need sponsors. And I think those things are really the first stepping stones to actually growing. And then we can do the things we want to do, like hosting a bigger and better IATC. But I don't know why we're not doing these things. I know the people that work there are probably insanely busy and swamped, and they have lives. But like, please, I love this sport so much. Please, and we can make it even cooler and better and bigger and more epic gamerness. Please. Anyway, sorry, that's enough of that.
Two things. One, yes, they have the IATF Central, Southeast, and Northeast have Instagram. It doesn't look like there's one for the main company, although I don't know for sure unless it's under something else.
It might be under, I know on Facebook. Hold on, let's see. International.
But they must have Instagram. I don't see why they wouldn't. But so yes, there is some Instagram out there for them, or at least for a region. And then to answer your question, actually, there is a venue out there that over the past 2 years, I think I've seen, they've done calendar pinups. It's hilarious. They all dress up in like little fun, I'll say erotic and slutty costumes, males and females. Yes, it's hilarious. And they do calendar. It's a calendar shoot, and you see like the pre-photos, and then they sell it as for funding for their venue. And it's a calendar. So I think that's hilarious. I can't remember if that was WATL though or IATF. Either way, it's a great funding. It's a great idea to fund. So I love it.
I found the Instagram, by the way. It's called Interacts is the actual page name.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? Because look at this. Like on their website, it's not like their socials are like marketing, right? Like they're like I'm sorry. I do a lot of stuff with social media stuff, and sometimes I see the way the IATF handles themselves, and I'm like, but it is what it is. So
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just because I care. It's because I care a lot. You know, but I feel like also, I know this is crazy, but I feel like the IATF is really faceless. Like there's a lot of big names and people know like the big dog throwers, but they don't have like a face. You know what the IATF needs? They need a little guy. They need a little guy mascot that's cute and people can get all parasocial with, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I want to do the IATF. You know, they need that kind of stuff. They got to do, I believe you can, you know, if you, it's okay. I'm going to shut up now. I'm enough said. Down.
Here's an interesting fact. Again, when it comes to social media, everyone handles their social media and how they promote themselves differently.
Yes.
So, and this is just numbers. It's strictly numbers. It doesn't prove much of anything, but it's just an interesting small fact. On the Interacts, which you saw which is the IATF, which is this page is there to exist for this emerging new sport on the international level, and facilitate. I'm just reading what they have on there, and facilitate competition between throwers of member organizations. There is round up 3,900 followers on that. Okay. You jump over then to WATL's Instagram page, which I believe is theirs. It's where the global government body and league for the sport of urban axe throwing. Blah blah blah. They have over 10,000 followers on there, compared to like 4,000 on IATF. So, could be said someone's doing something right, or something needs to change. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting fact. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a big difference. And do you know when WATL, like how much longer has WATL been around than the IATF? Is it like a long time?
That I don't know.
Let's find out. Let's Google the schmoogles. All right.
It's worth the Google.
When was WATL founded? That can't be true. That's not true. That can't be it. There's no way this is real. Hold on. Let me go to their website. I'm sorry. Google just told me it was founded in 2017.
I mean, it could be.
Really?
If you think about it.
So does...
I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound that far-fetched.
Because that means... Wait. Hold on. Oh, no. I hate... Okay, also, the other thing with the IATF that's really frustrating, the IATF is also the International Automotive Task Force, so we should fix that, because every time I type in IATF, I don't get axes. So... Now I gotta type in the fucking full name! And that's also...
Full name.
I think this is also actually a search parameter problem as well, because when you are doing anything like on the internet, when you type in that name, you want that name to be the first thing that always comes up. And if you type in IATF and it comes up as something else, then that's a bad name. I'm sorry, but it's true, but that's how it works. So unfortunately, that kind of really sucks. Oh wait, because it actually was the NATF at first. So when was the National Axe throwing organization founded?
So on the
NATF.
WATL website, it was copyrighted in 2017.
And
so I would go by that.
okay, so 2017. All right, well, maybe I'll just go to the IATF website because this is being a bitch. IATF
Basically.
website. Fuck you! I forgot to type in axis, and now I get more cars. I don't want your cars! I want your axis!
Here you go. The IATF was established in 2016.
That doesn't look too good for us, does it? That doesn't look too fucking good for us! That doesn't, no! Clearly,
So,
something's wrong.
but, so yeah. According to that, in 2016 for us, 2017 for WATL.
Which is worse, because that means we're older. We're older than fucking WATL, and look at how we're doing. And WATL's going bing, bang, boom. So there is an issue. There is a fundamental issue, because clearly WATL, even though they've had, I know WATL has had like also like a decent amount of drama and shit too. But like we're not growing. We're not growing at the rate we should be, because like IATF venues, there are like a lot of AX venues are closing in general, but IATF venues are closing left and right. And like our social media presence, I'm sorry, it's not great. It's just not. Especially compared to WATL, and WATL's fucking newer. And WATL literally has all these constant, insane fucking rule changes that are like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You want to go from 5 bullseyes to 1 bullseye to 80 points to 90 points to fucking shitting your ass out? Like, are you kidding me? And we're here and we've got this great rule set and a great community, but it's not growing. It's not. And not at the rate it should be, and it's so slow, and we're having so many issues. And why? Why is that? Why? I think we need to figure out why, so we can continue to do better and continue to grow. Because to me, looking at this, it's just making me more frustrated. I was like, oh, it's fine. And then I'm like, this is definitely not fine. This is not fine at all. This is not fine at all. What is happening? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm also sure that the people working on it are working insanely hard, and they're super amazing. So I'm sorry, I am just ranting, but those are my personal opinions and feelings. Continue.
Copyright Sam.
Oh, sorry about that. That was kind of crazy.
That was a rant.
It was. I'm sorry. I'm just very passionate about it, and I
You're
want.
very passionate about it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
So we touched on venues, the main event, the ITC, where things are going, where they could go, some ideas. And then like you said, if you turn to the WATL side of things, there's been changes there too. Most of theirs, though, has been primarily in simply rule changes as well as target change again. And I know a lot of people have heard me rant or talk about, not rant, but discuss it with you outside in the venue or at venues during league nights and things. Since they know I throw WATL, I'm having to adapt with their changes as well. I don't know if you can bring up that picture.
Oh yeah. You just gotta give me a sec. Maybe.
You forgot to grab it, didn't you?
No,
That's okay.
I would never.
When I drop the ball, you drop the ball. Well, she tries to figure that out, which is okay. She is forgiven. She's always forgiven.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. The main changes were, if you haven't heard, on the target now, there is now 5 bullseyes. Yes, you heard me right. 5 bullseyes. Which there was last year as well, to those rule changes. You have your center bull. You have then 4 surrounding bulls, 2 rings outside of that, of the same size and diameter. And then you also then have your upper and lower kill shots, similar to our clutches on the upper side of things is obviously different size, but also coordinating lower kill shots below. So moving forward, first, let me just preface one of the changes was your division rule sets. You're broken into a specific division depending on your skill set. So just like we have our Collins rating, they have ratings as well. So beginners, rookies are placed directly into a recreational division. Rec is basically the easiest in a sense. Everything on the target is open, and I'll come back around to that. But everything on the board you can hit as many times as you would like to. Nothing is off limits or nothing closes. Above that, you have amateur division, with those rule sets changing from recreational in the fact that on the target, those extra the center and all the bulls in each set of 5 throws, being you have 10 throws total, 5 in the first half of your match, 5 on the second half, the bulls can only be hit once per every set of 5 throws. They reset once you do the other set of 5. What I mean is if you hit the center bull, you get that 6. The 6 is then closed. If you hit it again, you get the lower value. You get the 5. If you hit it a third time, you then result, which is, I know, Sam, this is so weird, results then in a 4.
What the fuck?
Even though you hit a 5. So if you hit the center ring 3 times, you'll get 6, 5, 4. There's no way around it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The 4 other rings outside, the 4 other bulls, my apologies, the 4 bulls are the same values again. The center is a 6, the outer is a 5. They sit in the 3 ring. So in sequence, if you hit the 6 first, you get the 6. If you hit it a second time, you get the 5. If you hit it a third time, it is closed. So therefore, you then get a 3. It's definitely, I think when we all were starting to learn, stings a little bit. Like, oh, you got a 3. So yeah, that sucks. But no, that's just the new rule changes. The only benefit is those. It sounds gross. Yeah, it was a little gross to get used to. I feel like so last year's target was identical. The rule set was identical. The difference was those bulls, those outer 4 bulls, were smaller. Now the outer 4 are the same size and diameter as the center bull. So I think all of us, when we first tried this out, were thinking, oh, no big deal. It'll be easy. No, we're all struggling. But no, we're adapting. So it is what it is. And so then, I don't believe anyone at my venue is at pro level. But the next thing is the pro level. Pro level meaning you need to have, just like the CRS, you have to have a rating of, they do their ratings similar to IATF with your win-loss, comparing who your opponents are, your upcoming opponents, how you do, how many bulls you hit, what your score is. All that goes into a crazy algorithm to determine what your rating is. So if your rating is above 550, between 550 and 599, you are considered, or you can declare, you have to declare you want to be on the pro level. Pro level also has more to do with WATL's worlds as well, which I don't get into because, yeah, I don't want to go there. But yeah, the other declaring and playing at a pro level though is also a little more frustrating. I know you would love this, Sam. So scoring on a pro level.
Okay.
So you still have all the closing outs. So I don't know why I get the rules for pro.
Right.
But I don't know why anyone would try to do this. So what happens is though, so hitting any of the scoring zones within the 5 ring
Yeah.
closes everything in that zone
What?
for that particular half. So for the first 5 throws, as soon as you hit that, it closes it out entirely, which means if you accidentally hit it again, you get a 0. You get no points awarded. Yeah.
Ugh.
Basically, yeah. Basically, I believe basically what it's doing is it forces you. You have to go around and hit all 5 of the bulls. It's forcing you to be perfect, basically, or to be that more particular in how you throw. Because once it's closed out, it's done. Whereas when you're on the amateur level, I can hit that bull a second time and still hope I get that 5 if I got the 6, or if I already got the 5. At least I get the other value. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing that stinks. So you've seen the pictures, correct? You've seen that picture I shared with you.
Yeah, they're up
of
on
target.
the targets are on the recording. People can see them.
Okay. So if you hit that center ring, the center red dot is a 6. That's your bull.
Yeah.
The next one out is a 5. So if I hit the 5 first, but then I hit that center 5 again, it's a 4. It's not that I get the 6. If I hit 6 twice, I get 6, 5. Does that make sense?
That's vomit.
Because of how it closes out. And because since you've already hit the 5, if you hit the 5 again, trying to go for that 6 and miss and hit his 5, you've already locked that out. So you get the lower. So, but the only other fun benefit is it's fun because it happens every now and then for us and WATL, who those of us who have really large blades, because you can have up to a 4-inch blade. The blade in some circumstances can, on those outer 4 bulls, the tip and then the bottom, or I guess the heel, the toe and the heel. I'm looking at a bag which actually has the description on it. It's kind of funny. So, or you could say the top and the bottom of your blade can actually meet and touch both rings, which is kind of crazy. So therefore, you hit a 5 on the upper bowl or lower bowl. So it's kind of cool. So WATL just has a rule where the thrower just has to declare which one they choose to take. I will say that's one of the most disappointing though is when you're going for one of those outer 4. The axe I throw is like a hammerback, so the blade's small. It's probably a 3.5-inch blade.
Okay.
You're welcome. I made you yawn.
No.
Contagious. But yeah, my blade sometimes, even though I feel like I'm very precise with it, when I have an errant throw, I will sometimes stick it between the 2 bowls on the outside, and I get a 3 because it's not the blade is not big enough to touch the top, and it's not too big, not big enough again to touch the bottom. I get stuck with a 3, even if it's like a, I don't toe it in because obviously towing doesn't help you.
Yeah.
You want the most amount of the blade to strike the board. So it's always a fun thing pops up.
That is really interesting because to me, I feel like that's a big difference. Is like you want the big chunky blade versus like the toe in between like WATL and IATF, because I feel like IATF it's like, oh yeah, you want that like Princess Perfect toe in, but WATL you want the big chunk and schmunk, you know?
Yeah, I mean, true. The main difference being though, comparing that WATL doesn't have a separate set of the way they divide thrower skill set is not by changing the target, but by changing it's WATL changes it based on how well you can throw it at the target and what your scores are, which throws you can get.
Right.
IATF bases it on, do you want to throw standard or premier? And then you follow a different rule set to which path you choose. Because like you said, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Towing in for me for standard does nothing.
Right.
And same could be said for you. You could tow it in as many times as you want on standard, and it's not going to help you because you'll be hitting the bulls. For me, though, in my mind, it's going to come down to clutches. I don't need to tow in my clutches for Premier. I want them as flush as I can, and to a degree. Um, but that's skill set. I think it comes down to how your skill is and being able to control the axe and when you go for that premier box on the clutches.
Yeah, I think something else that's really interesting to me is that for WATL, it is almost more like a traditional sport where you actually do have to move up. You can't just start and enter like whatever you want. At least the way you explained it, because the way that you have to go up in the skill levels, um, because you have to like the higher your average, and then you like move up until you get to the pro level, right? Versus like
Correct. Yeah.
IATF where there's like no levels or anything. And I don't know how WATL tournaments work, but like I don't know for a WATL tournament if you're like XYZ level, if you can enter like this tournament, like you have to have these qualifications to enter. I don't know if that's how it is set up, but because for ITF you don't need to, unless it's IATC, you don't need any of those qualifications. You just need money.
Money, 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 money,
money, money, money, money, money. But I think that's really interesting, for sure, because I don't know how I would feel about that, right? Because then, say if I had started throwing WATL instead of ITF, like I would have been like, oh well, I don't. Here's another question for you. For WATL, do you have to throw like with leagues of people that are all the same rank as you, or can you throw with like anyone?
So, okay, yeah, that was another thing I was going to say. That is where it also gets a little weird. So, this season, for example,
Uh-huh.
this is also going to blow your mind.
Okay.
We have 41 people in my league. Yeah,
What?
41. Yes, our league is like 41 people right now. Again, to be fair, it's only 10 throws per. It still goes a lot longer. So it's been going pretty long, but it still goes quick. But yeah, anyway, there's 41 people. We have probably, I'm on a ballpark. I'd say we have 10 beginners in our league this year. When I play any of them, the system knows that they are at a beginner level and I'm at an advanced. So the iPad, the scoring tablet will reflect that actually too. So the scorekeeper just needs to realize and acknowledge that, oh, I have closed out to a degree a bowl in which one, whereas the guy who is playing as a beginner can hit anything and everything they want as many times as they want. That makes sense? Answer your question.
That's gross.
So yes, that's how they do it. It's like you're playing different skill sets at the same time on the same level. To a degree, I guess.
Okay,
it's kind of weird and mind blowing. It kind of like, is that unfair? Is that even fair? But to a degree, I guess it is, because the beginner can throw out as many bowls as they want, and I could lose because I am trying to work my way around the bowls and I miss and I get 3 a couple times and all that. So,
huh? Yeah, that's so interesting. Huh?
A-E-I-O-U.
Yeah, I don't know, because like obviously, it's supposed to be a in quotes individual sport, right? But blah 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 blah. That's how that makes me feel. That's what we got. I don't know. That's whack. That's kind of whack. Hashtag WATL be whack. And the ITF really needs a better social media presence, please. I just got quacked at.
We said whack, so I said quack.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm going with that.
No, I figured as much. That makes sense.
Hey, as long as you figured as much.
It's a whack quack attack.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Did you have anything else that you want to talk about, like rule wise, WATL wise, whatever? Oop.
Nothing that I have. But yeah, those are some of the new stuff going on in both the IATF and WATL world.
Yeah.
One in regards to tournaments, one in regards to its scoring and targets.
Yes. Yeah. That would be crazy. I'm just thinking about that. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's like fucking going into a match and then like one person is playing standard and then the other person is playing premier, but you're playing each other. That's crazy. That's gross.
Yeah,
Ew.
that is kind of the way to look at it.
Ugh. Sorry, I kind of hate that. I was like, oh, that's okay, but then I thought about it like that, and then I was like, oh, I hate that. Anyway, sorry.
Did you kind of like throw up in your mouth a little bit right there?
Yeah, yeah. It was nasty.
It's kind of like well, it's like Urban Swiss. The compromise is the hybrid, which is Urban Swiss, being that if you
Right.
bleed, you still get something to keep the playing field level for, say, if it's a beginner thrower versus someone who's more advanced.
Right, but in Urban
In
Swiss,
IATF, but
yeah. But like no one is throwing Premier and someone's throwing Urban Swiss. Like that's not like if you're throwing Urban Swiss, the person next to you is throwing
true.
Urban Swiss, you know?
But if you throw I'm trying to remember, but if you throw a Premier Bull, you're going to get more rewarded from that than a baby bleed bull.
Yeah. 100%.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no it does. I still think that it's I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I gotta sit on like the waddle stuff because I feel like maybe I just need more waddle experience. You know, maybe that's it. But waddle be whack. Waddle be whacking out sometimes.
But in the long term, most people feel like they are going to be able to obtain though. So okay, I will tell you this: two things.
Okay. Yeah.
First, more people, I feel like, I hope, myself included, will be able to obtain a 64 with the bowls being larger. You would think a larger bowl, easier to hit. I'm still struggling, even though they're bigger. So, but it is what it is. So I hope that happens. Two, which I think they did right, having those bowls bigger, as well as being able to, I think I already talked about this. When you have the beginner versus the advanced on those targets, definitely evens the playing field of a beginner being able to beat an advanced thrower. Being a pro thrower exempt, or sorry, a pro level thrower exempt, being taken into this thought. But if you put those two together, it definitely evens the playing field. Going head to head, I feel like.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think though that playing field like should feel even? Because I guess for me, when I am throwing and I'm throwing the same rule set as I know a thrower that's is very very skilled, probably way far more skilled than I am, I like having that even playing field because I think it makes me want to do better because I'm like, oh fuck, well I gotta keep practicing, I gotta keep throwing so that way I can get to that level and I can continue to like compete with them versus like, oh well, I just beat so and so, but also they were playing a way harder rule set than me, so like I don't know, that doesn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's like, is it really helping that beginner thrower to really advance their throwing skills by, in a sense, easy, making it a little easier for them in a sense, maybe,
Yeah.
versus just doing it same target, same rules. You've been throwing for 5 years. You've just started. We're just gonna go into this. Samesies.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. Yeah.
I think it's all about though. Here, that's the nice thing. That's the nice thing. It's the game you wanna play. You can choose if you throw IATF or Waddle. It's up to you. You can choose. Hey, you don't gotta. You can do both if you want. You can do one or the other. You can do tomato. Potato. It's up to you. Throw IATF though, because it's Pog. You don't have a choice. You have to. Anyway, sorry. Okay. That's honestly now for real. Now for real. That's all I had.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I
Yeah,
think we'll probably end it there. So,
yeah. I don't
before
think anything
I
else.
catch any more yawns, so thank you guys, so much for watching or listening for our audio listeners. We appreciate it. Make sure you follow our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube, give us a, my microphone hit my face. Anyway, give us a follow on Spotify. All
Same, I
that.
can't. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's, all that funky, fresh, delicious, coolio, woolio, Gucci,
Advanced level
Scoochie stuff.
or
Yeah.
level or beginner
Oh,
level.
wow. Um, but yeah, so do that. We would really appreciate it. Give us your thoughts on this episode. Definitely fact check us. All that stuff. But we'll see you guys next time for episode 10 of NAMP. So, yeah.
Next time,
We don't murder people here.
we're axe throwers.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Okay.
You
Oh,
got rage?
sorry. I almost hung up the Discord call. Wait, okay, we're gonna stop. There we go.